This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I welcome you to Madeline's Country French Cafe at 3072 Mockingbird Lane, Dallas, Texas, 75205. Give the restaurant a call at 214-696-0800 and tell them you want your reservations to the next Activist meeting.
Okay, welcome everybody. We're going to start the meeting. Today we have a speaker that's going to be here at about 8 o'clock, and he's going to talk about the workings in the City Council. He's been involved for years. I'm very excited that he'll be here at 8 o'clock. But between now and then, we're going to discuss some of the things that we've done and things that we're doing, things that we're going forward and doing. We have some new people here, and they have the little handout cards, so they know basically what we do is that we outreach at different other people's events, and usually we inform people of what are going on, and then we can bring our cards to those places because those are activists, those are people that are very possibly like-minded. So this last week, I went to a 9/11 group that meets every Thursday. There was a young lady up from Austin. She's been very active with fluoride in the Austin area. She had heard about our group, and she wanted to duplicate it down there, what we were doing. And so we talked, brought some flyers, and that was the outreach that I had this last week. Usually the third Saturday of the month, the third Saturday of the month is the open carry event. So I don't think that was last Saturday. I lose track of my Saturdays. Oh, I know. This last Saturday was the chalk art. Chalk art. I don't know if anybody got to go to the chalk art, but at Dealey Plaza, your book salad? So, but the chalk art is a real good time. It's a fun time. You can write anything you want at Dealey Plaza, the grassy knoll. Rick Warden gets out there about 11 in the morning, but he encourages people to come about 1 till 3. We find this to be a very good activist area. There's a lot of tourists going by. The way the curve is of the traffic, a lot of people can see our signs and beep. We haven't done a fluoride one there, but we were very active with the Don't Bomb Syria. We had hundreds of people out there for that one. You play guitar, sing songs, have the horn thing. And with the chalk art, it's really good. It's beautiful, it's fun. These people are very talented, it doesn't do any damage, and we have no problems with it. It's a really good place. I didn't get to go to the chalk art one, but that is one that we try to encourage. That's the first Saturday of the month, okay? So that would have been last week. Did you go to something this week, Marjorie?
Well, there was going to be a march against corruption, but there was nobody available to organize it.
Okay.
And I couldn't, that just didn't work my schedule. And so what I decided to do as of yesterday is on April 5th, I'm going to have a rally against corruption. I'm going to organize it. I don't have a flyer yet because I just...
What day of the week does that fall on?
I'm sorry, it's a Saturday. I looked at the Sunday, but Leslie Harris, who has all the banners for the last one, that's her birthday.
Oh.
It's also my birthday. I don't care. I can always go to the folks' house afterwards.
When you say what day?
April the 5th.
5th. But she wants to do
5th?
something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She wants to do something with her kids, and so I thought. So I checked April 5th. 11 a.m. looks good. The anti-GMO meeting won't be till 3, so let's have about 1. That'll give plenty of time to get to that, for me to get to that, and anybody else who's interested. And so
And that would be an outreach.
that would be at Flying Warren Park, kind of the same location where we had the anti-TPP. And by the way, that seems to be dying. The people,
Yes,
some people
the Trans-Pacific Partnership is the TPP.
Yeah.
It's NAFTA on steroids.
Yeah, it seems to be dying. after a lot of screaming and arm twisting, some key people in Congress have turned against it. I still got a piece of diatribe from Pete Sessions because I've been hounding him about it. I'm just going to pass it around before I throw it in a recycle bin.
Okay.
So I'll just
So on April the 5th, which is a Saturday, at 11 o'clock
And
in
next week
Clyde
I will have
Warren
some
Park.
flyers.
Okay, you'll have some flyers. It's a good outreach for us. So this is what I say. Sometimes we're putting the event on. Sometimes we're using somebody else's event and we help promote it on our website and everything. And then we go there and hand out our Activists for Truth things. And that's going to be Clyde Warren Park, 11 o'clock. And then did you say 3 o'clock is the GMO?
Yeah, the anti-GMO meeting,
Anti-GMO.
which is a monthly meeting, is at 3. It's at the Park Cities Yoga over.
Park Cities Yoga. Okay.
So,
And we're getting, we always promote the March Against Monsanto. March Against Monsanto is going to be in March the 24th.
May 24th.
May 24th. May 24th. That's in Dallas City Hall. This will be the third one. And Jessica Winters is a good friend of ours, and she's supports ours. We support hers. And that's something that we'll probably that's not just an outreach. That's something we actually will probably help with that event. We'll co-organize it.
Okay, I want to hand out some GMO brochures.
Would you help pass her things?
If you could just take one and pass it down. I have 2 different kinds.
Thank you, Marjorie. Marjorie's a major activist that keeps us informed on other things that are going on. We met during the Manning, Bradley Manning. We're very, very strong in supporting whistleblowers, Actually, we got 2 whistleblowers that are coming tonight that are going to give us an update. These 2 people, it's a couple that were in Libya before Gaddafi. And they were in Libya when the NATO troops came in and bombed and killed innocent people, churches, schools, just killed people on the street. They witnessed it. They were held by Al-Qaeda. They escaped. They came back to America fully thinking that they would have the support of our country and our government, and our government would want to know what they knew because they were willing to give places, names, information, contacts. And they have been shut out to the point where they said, shut up, So they're supposed to be here tonight. They're probably coming because they've been in the Dallas area now for several months. They're on the Power Hour tomorrow. By the way, that's important. I got to do a thing about that. They're going to be on at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, the Power Hour. And it's on the card, the information about how to find that show. It's an internet show that's on at 7 in the morning. So, but the first hour, Joyce talks about world events, and then the second hour is when the Moriartys will be on. So, excuse my coughing from time to time. All right, so one of the things we need to talk a lot about is what are we doing this week? And this week is very, very important, okay? And what we're even doing today is important. I had talked to a few people here that today I really wanted to talk to our group about what are we doing? Is this effective? I don't want to just waste people's times with a meeting. I don't want to waste my time with a meeting. I want it to be effective. It's not about talking, it's about doing. I mean, we need to get enlightened. We need to find out what's going on. We need to support these other media outlets. It's very important, which tonight, in a few minutes, I want you to meet 2 young men that have something going on here, and they're going to explain how to find them, how to support what they're doing, and to get other people. Because what do I say all the time, guys? We got to wake people up. And you wake people up in different ways. Some people, it was Building 7 coming down. They never had a concept. Some people, it was Ron Paul. Some people, it's the GMO thing, that they're actually genetically modifying food, and then they're going to have control of the seeds. It's outrage. People have to have passion to do anything. And how do you develop that spark, Well, these young men have a different way. Everybody's got a different way. Alex Jones shouts it out. He gets out there and he cries or yells, or he's passionate, and he has great speakers on there, and, he connects you to information. Joyce, she is the same way. She's passionate. She's out there. She's fighting She gives a platform. That's what I thought we were doing here. I'm trying to have a local platform for people with ideas and local activism. And my plan constantly is crossing barriers, letting people know that it's not like we're going to agree upon everything. Maybe my friend Leslie Harris is pro-choice or something. I don't know. I think she is. I don't know. But we were out there in solidarity for Bradley Manning because Bradley Manning exposed truth, and then he got sent to jail for it without a pillow, without his glasses, without a blanket, without even being read his rights, you know? I mean, it was terrible. So we can be passionate about those things together. Hi, Joanne. Anyways, that's what we're doing, and that's what I wanted to address tonight. What do you think, guys? Can there be some more activist brochures there for you?
Can we have our own radio station?
Well, you know what? I've been offered different times radio, but it's a lot of work. These things, I mean, seriously. Do you know how many times it's like, hey, you can come in and do an hour on Thursday? It's not an hour. It's getting there, getting your information. It's a lot of work, So it's a lot better let somebody else do it, and direct your people's ears to there, I think, in my opinion. So, but Albert had some great ideas before. He was talking about campuses. It's true. If young people, that's why the Ron Paul movement, I was the area leader for Ron Paul in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It was very exciting. And the thing about the Ron Paul group was we had something to fight for. It wasn't what we were against. That's how you're going to bond the people. That's what worked real well with the young kids, an idea of to fight for. And that idea is still out there. We just have to grab the people and show them. So Albert was talking about handing flyers around a campus. I think all these ideas are great. Please take on the idea and do it, Try to get more people to do things, The trouble we have a lot of times is people love getting excited, but I have a little problem, just like everybody does, is getting people to do it, As soon as I say, yeah, you're going to do this, we're going to do this, half the time people haven't paid attention to the details, and then when they do, it's like, 8 o'clock in the morning, really, that's kind of early, true? And people that I love, but listen guys, the days are going to get harder and harder, If we can't get up at 8 o'clock in the morning to stop poison being put in our water, okay? Which all it's going to take is for them to see that we have solidarity and that 9 of these guys are standing in the way of 1.5 million people being poisoned. I think we can get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and be there. I think so. You'll be there?
If I can be there, I'm not a morning person. I can do it.
I know. Well, that's right. That's what we have
And
to do.
I got up earlier for an action than that. I got up at 5:30 in the morning. And get an 8 o'clock act.
That's right. And that's what we have to do. Because I'm going to explain again the concept about fluoride. So you can tell people these things. It is a big issue. And it's a solvable issue. It's a perfect one to take on so we can say we fought City Hall and we won. It can show people you can make a difference. You see, so many people are apathetic because, what's it going to do, What's one person? They're not going to listen. But if we can prove and show that we can make a difference, it'll inspire the people to do it the next time for something bigger. So I'm just doing this as kind of like a starter one, and it's a good one. It's not political, It crosses the lines. You got the children in there, save the children with the fluoride. It's like, it's got all the workings. Plus we got science on our side. Yes. 2010, 11, 12, and 13 is when all the data is conclusive. All the places around the world that are taking it out. 9 more cities, it's all over. But Dallas is a big one. We have a wonderful opportunity. And coming into this meeting, I was frustrated, people, because I thought, this is bugging me. This is laying it, I got a press release. It's got all the links to something that I am so happy I found, okay? I was told, I believe the city secretary believed this, okay? She really believed it, because it's probably been repeated for a long time. I believe probably the council believed it, that it would take a vote of the people to get it changed, which is costly and time effective and everything. But that's not true. The city council in August of 1965 decided on their own to add the fluoride to the water. So it'll be a simple decision of 9 of the 14 people on the city council to decide to take it out. And 2 major things we're focusing on. The precautionary rule is the biggest one we're going to push. And the second one, which is right up there, is that it has been classified as a drug. The reason stated to put it in was medical, to save, the teeth of the children. They talked about the children, but it's for all teeth, And that any doctor that does not give full consent, he doesn't give all the information about a drug, and that you consent to it, they can lose their license. Yet we're being drugged without our consent. And then on top of that, we're going to say, not only we do not consent. Let's see. I have a banner here. Oh, well, that's right. I hate stopping. It's too much. So, there's one of them. Okay?
Nice.
You see that, Joanne? Okay? This is mass medication. Okay? And so, the deal of it is other things that are put in the water. These are the things that have been talked about mainstream media in the past. Well, chlorination, that's different. Chlorination is to kill bacteria. It's for the safety of the water. Other things they'll say, it's a nutrient. It's not a nutrient. A nutrient means that your body needs that or else a process will not work. That's not true. So it's totally being put in there to drug us. Yes, ma'am?
As soon as I got home, I said something to my husband about the fluoride, and he says, well, they can't get that taken off. That's federally mandated.
No.
Well, I'm just saying.
Okay, that's the fallacies
I
that people believe.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. We don't even realize. Like you said, you found out that the council voted on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, it blows your mind that things can be done that quickly with a little.
Yes. And the thing that I'm going to, those are the 2 things we're going to speak loud to. Other things, of course, we're speaking to is the fact that 27,080 people voted to uphold the Dallas City Council decision. But our population has grown in the 48 years, and probably most of those people are moved away or dead. So we're being affected by the vote of 27,080 people in 1966, when the information is out there now that says that there's a lot of risks. So, cautionary rule, and we don't consent. So, the plan is to go to the city council. Here, I'll show you that one, Joanne. Oh, let's see. Anyways, we have other ones too. And Joanne has a song. Can you do it?
I don't know if I can remember the word.
I've got it. Here. Okay, the deal of it is we're drawing attention, and we are not being angry, We are trying to draw attention. Here, I have it in my thing here.
I was trying to sing it to one of my kids a couple days ago. He says, Mom, you better get the words right.
All right, we'll work on it, everybody. Not everybody has to do this, but if a few of us are, we get a mega.
I think
call
it
a
should be
megaphone?
4. It should be 4. As 4 fluoride, not as 2 fluoride, whatever.
Okay.
Copy that.
Yeah, everybody will have a copy.
Okay.
We do not approve. As for fluoride, it should be removed, just like pollution standing in the water. It shall be removed.
Does this ring a bell, guys?
Yeah.
I think it
Do we
should be
all know?
4.
Oh, 4? Okay.
Yeah, I think
You know the
Can,
song?
can we sing it in the city council?
No, we're doing this outside from 8 until 8:45, okay? And the reason I'm not going to say exactly where, you'll find us. We may go around, definitely around the back to the front and the front to the back.
How many of us gonna have a microphone this week?
I think only one, I don't know. I bought one and the batteries bursted in it. I used it one time.
Microphone at the city council.
Oh.
No, the city council, how many people?
Oh, okay, let's talk about that in a minute. We're still focusing on the 8 to 8:45. So guys, it's 45 minutes, parking is very easy over there, metered parking with quarters. Thank you, Joanne, she's a real singer. But I get excited, so I don't sing good, but I'm loud. Okay, so it's the concept. These kind of things work. This is old protesting stuff, That's, they song, and people will remember this, everyone knows the song, right? So, and, okay. Do that? Okay, so signs, you can bring, okay, let me show you what's affected. The Ron Paul thing too again. They don't have to be vinyl signs. I showed it. This is the size paper that this woman used, okay? Look at that. You just make something this big, handwritten, make it clear, not a lot of writing, you know? So bring something, we'll have these. 2 people, it's nicer, 1 person can do it. I had great ideas. By the way, if you're ever doing anything protesting, banners on the cheap. I believe in, don't invent the wheel, guys. Why should we? Let's share ideas all the time. The banners on the cheap. So what did I get? They're cheap. They're like $20. Vinyl signs with the grommets, you know, and they can do anything for you. It's really cheap. And bigger ones too. For maybe the most I ever paid was $37, but the bigger ones are a little more difficult to handle. I'm hoping by Wednesday, unless someone wants to take it on and bring them, put some PVC pipe or something like that to make it easier to hold them, make them tighter, whatever. So if it gets done, we'll see. If someone wants to volunteer, I'd love it. What was I going to say? Okay, so Albert was discussing, okay, the city council has rules. And Albert, I don't know if you know this yet, on the 26th of February, the city council, among themselves, voted to change the rules. Citizens used to have 4 times a month that you could address the council for 3 minutes at a time about anything. You either got a slot to speak in the morning before they started or at the afternoon when they finished. If you got a morning spot of one of those 4, you only got 1 of those a month, okay? That's because you know you're speaking between 9 and 9:30. In the afternoon, it could be any time, even as late as midnight. It's whenever the council agenda is done. They just voted. Citizens only have 1 time a month now. 3 minutes, 1 time a month. They say that, yep, it passed. They decided this within a 3-week period. They said that some people were coming there and repeating the same thing over and over again, and it was limiting the amount of people that got to talk before the council. That's what they say. Now, I've been there in the morning when 5 people, not all the 5 people even showed up, you know? So, I don't know. That's just what they're saying. That's something we can fight later. I think we should fight it later. I mean, give me a break. 5 people is still only 25 minutes out of their day. You know, and that's
They
like,
do that because they threaten by us.
that's right.
They
They're
threaten
bored.
by us because, you know, we speak the truth. They don't like to hear it.
I'm sure they don't. And I don't know if any of you have gone, have you 3 ever gone to city council before, or Joanne? The truth of the matter is, I never did either, before December 11th. And that's why we took, one of the reasons why we took this project on was we needed to know how to do it. The very first time, we all voted, okay, so how many people are going to go, and what do we want to do, the morning or the afternoon? We picked the afternoon. We didn't realize we were going to sit there for 4.5 hours, you know, and we all were very surprised. Only a couple of us, Albert and one other person, had been to the city council before. They don't give you eye contact, they're busy, they eat, they talk to each other, they get up and down, they don't really pay attention, you know? So this next time I'm really
They
wanting...
do it intentionally. You know, you watch their head. When I start talking, you know, if the head is off, that means they're thinking. They look you straight in the eyes, that means they're listening. But when the mayor head went down, the whole city council head went down. It's their planet that way.
Well,
And that's how they wear us out.
they're
Like,
going to
we
have a
don't
hard
think
time
that-
wearing us out.
Huh?
They're
I know,
not
I know.
Maybe that's an intention, but we'll work against it. We need to, when we go there, film them listening to us. And then when we play our YouTubes back. Because what they feel is, though, I was told this by the city attorney. He was the one that wrote the proposal. I think that's what they call it, or amendment or something. And so he said, you have other ways to lobby these people. You can email them, call them, or make appointments to see them. I've been doing that to my city council guys since December. And I haven't had one time where he's responded. So that's why we take it to the floor, because it's televised, it's YouTubed, and they replay it a lot. So in the press release, that went out, and also, just a second,
It's also radio broadcast.
radio broadcast on
WRR.
101.
101.1, a
101.1.
classic station.
Yeah, and so the in the press release at the bottom, I put a link to our just 2 of our Activists for Truth 3-minute times that we went there, and and then I put a link to this 28-minute, which is really good, by the way. I'll try to get that for you. It's a 28-minute fluoride YouTube. Excellent. It's professionals' perspective, and it's awesome. 28 minutes of all. What I told them was, take a look at the, who they are underneath their names. All dentists and biologists and chemists and stuff. Very concise. So they got that now. So what I did was I took the press release that has all the links, the information, and what we're standing on and for, and I sent it to the mayor and all the city council and the city secretary, and she's looking into it. So she emailed me today. She'll get back to me. So we got that. Okay, to answer your question now, Albert, I had signed up to speak on Wednesday in the morning. I spoke on February 5th, and I was told I could speak on March 5th. But even though it was a short month, 30 days is what it's supposed to be. But I got called by the city council that I can't speak on Wednesday, but I moved to March 26th because they're in recess for a couple weeks. So my daughter is going to speak on Wednesday. So that'll be another person on our side to speak. So, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Can I sign up to speak on the 26th?
Sure. Well, you got to
If
wait.
it fits my schedule.
Yeah.
If it fits my schedule.
What the deal, there's one more caveat, there's a lot of deals. You have to wait until the last city council meeting. So on the 5th of March, and then if they're gonna have a recess, the next morning, so the 6th of March at 8:15, yes, that would be great if you call. Call at 8:15, the earlier the better. There's only 5 slots in the morning, and I've been trying to have our 3-minute speeches printed out and kind of all verified ahead of time so that they don't have anything to pick on. And also, we stay under that, right at that 3 minutes, because they're going to want to cut us off, and sometimes your punchline gets lost. So anybody that wants to on the 6th, the morning of the 6th, you got to call right away. If you wait until 10 o'clock even, they're taken. And
Just
then-
let me mention something. Day before you're going to speak, like tomorrow, right?
Yes,
Tomorrow is Tuesday, right?
that's correct.
Somebody will call you if you're scheduled to speak, and they want to know what you're going to say. Tell them you just would like to talk in general about the fluoride. Don't give any details. They can cut you off.
Oh, they know that my daughter's coming to talk about fluoride, so.
Okay, but if they call her, tell her not to mention a lot of things. Just say, just briefly, we would like to touch base on it. We would like just to mention something about fluoride.
Yeah, 3
But
minutes.
don't say anything more.
Okay.
Don't say anything.
That's how I do that. Okay, good.
They
Okay.
trick you, and then, they can bump you, just like they did last time. They bump me to the afternoon.
The other thing too, that they will give preferential timing to city residents. If someone doesn't live in the Dallas city, you get bumped also. So that's sometimes part of it too. Which we need to start seeing who do any of you 3 live in the Dallas, the city of Dallas?
Oh, yeah.
You do? You know who your council person is? Which number?
Lee Kleinman.
Okay, I'll look again.
District 11.
11? Good. So right now, I'm in 14. My daughter is in 9, I believe.
I'm
So
in 2.
you're in 2. That's what we need. We need to get at least one in each one of these. And then when we go and, not everybody in that group, but at least if there's one resident from their thing, this is going to be helpful. Okay. And do some research on them. I mean, do they tend to vote for environmental issues? Greg, I believe,
Yeah.
does.
Mine does too. That's why.
What's the
that's
name of
why I
yours?
voted Adam Madrano. That's why I voted. Well, otherwise I would have voted for somebody else.
Will you try,
I hate the want the best environmental record.
good. John is probably gonna be here. Last time he gave everybody, a handout with all the phone numbers. But the phone numbers, emails, and everything are very easy to find. If you go to the City of Dallas, along the left side, there's drop-down boxes and all their information is there. And there's a real cool one where if you want to email something, it goes to the mayor and the city council. But what I really encourage is that we stay focused. I've already said, even though a lot of things seem to be powerful about, dumbing down. Okay, the IQ thing is good. There's the Harvard study. There's the Time magazine issue that just came out, etc. But we really don't want to get into dumbing down as far as making people passive. I think there's another great YouTube that this young man did. The whole thing is great. At the end, he puts a lot of push on, they're dumbing us down to take us over and all that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily deny this, but that's not going to stay focused. That's not going to get our cause done as well, There's enough tangibles that are much better to push on and, maybe in personal conversations if you want. Okay, now, I don't know what time it is. I'm trying to think of what we have coming up. What time is it, sweetie?
7:40.
Okay, good. Our topics coming up, let me see. I usually have a young man here to remind me what our topics are coming up. Aaron, do you know what our meeting is about on the next one? Is it hemp? Is hemp? Okay. Next Monday, we're going to be talking about hemp and yes to hemp, why yes to hemp. A lot of people, it's like, wow, we could get gas from that, or, energy, housing, it's high in protein. I mean, it's got 2,000 uses for hemp, yet it's been banned, federally banned. Yet some countries, over 50% of their gross domestic product, we buy. We sell it. I mean, go to Whole Foods, pay $14 for hemp seeds. They're great. Why can't we produce them here? So the cotton industry, there's a whole history about it. Cotton, plastic, all this kind of stuff. And we need to get strong on that. We need to do something. Kentucky, there's like 9 states that are getting it nullified. We'll probably have a real close discussion about nullification at the same time. The states can nullify federal bans, etc., everything. It's unconstitutional. Right now, tomorrow's election day, guys. Don Huffines in this area, he will vote to nullify. Corona was working on smart meters, but didn't work, did it? So we're going to have somebody come in here talking about smart meters too. So we have a lot of different things. We're very diverse also. As far as politically, like I say, Don Huffines, let's vote for him for sure if you're on the 16th, okay? Let's see, what else? So voting tomorrow. I think, I'm sorry that we don't have a lot of people here, exactly, sir, gentlemen, but would you like to come up because it'll be on the YouTube thing here, and then we'll work down the information. Maybe you come talk to us about what you're doing to help educate people. Yeah, that would be great.
Keep it short.
No.
Good evening.
And introduce yourself.
Sure, you bet. I'm Zach Rose, this is Steve Barr, and we are hosting a new show. We're in pre-production right now. It's basically a platform to discuss pretty much what we've been talking about tonight. Anything from GMOs to, basically what happened to our food, we get a guest on there, an activist perhaps, or someone that's informed, a scientist, somebody who's done the research, come away from various studies, things like that. We'll go in there, we'll discuss it. We'll have someone who represents the mainstream viewpoint. I will be representing the, the hungry citizen who wants the knowledge, the truth, because there's just so much conjecture out there. We'll talk about vaccines, whether to vaccinate or not, the connection with autism, things of that nature. It'll be a wide variety of various topics that you're not going to get on ABC or CBS or anything like that. So basically just providing a new way of looking at it. I'm not saying this is the way it is, but just like any of us, we're going on the computer, on the internet, or reading a book, and we're coming away with all these concerns. And then where do we go from there? You know, as a parent or a friend of children or things of that nature, where do you go once you get this information? And who do you believe? What do you believe? Where do you go when you come up with that conclusion? Things of that nature. So it'll just basically be an opportunity for people to dialogue and just get it out there. We'll do it in a comedic kind of light way. So it won't be kind of an Alex Jones feel of like, you know, get out there. I think he already has that angle.
Pretty much, yeah.
So basically just it's a different approach to try to get the information out there on a lighter note.
We're just going to try to hook people with humor
Yeah.
and give them the truth. You know, as you know, I'm sure a poet once said that, you know, you better wrap the truth in humor or they'll kill you. So,
Yeah, so that's pretty much that in a nutshell.
How
Talk
do we
about.
find you though?
Well, the show's called That Can't Be Right.
That can't be right.
I think it
Love
kind of sets up a
Aaron's taking notes, right?
premise there. So basically, you'll come in, and I believe our first episode will be on fluoride. So maybe Regina can be our guest, or Roy Williams, or somebody who would like to. And basically, I'll come in and say fluoride. You know, I came across these various things, and I'll source all these different things that I've come across, and then I'm a very concerned citizen trying to figure it out, and really worried about it. My buddy doesn't seem like there's anything to worry about, you know, but we got somebody in here, and hopefully we can get this straightened out, and then we'll kind of cut the break, and we'll have the activist or the person that is there to discuss the particular topic, and go from there.
So if we just Google it or search it? it'll-
Well, I have
How
a
do we do
Facebook
this?
page I've just started, but we're in
Facebook
pre-production.
page.
We haven't shot anything yet. We have just now figured out kind of the system, if you will,
Right.
that we're going to present it in. We're going to do a lot of sketch work on the street things. So we'll go, say if it's fluoride, we'll be on the street asking people about this issue. So we'll either find out if people are informed or even aware of it at all. I've come across that a lot with GMOs and things like that, where I do another radio show, and I do that, and most people have no idea what you're talking about.
I
Which is pretty-
think to be successful, we need to talk about weed.
Weed?
No, not kidding, I mean, marijuana.
Oh, no, yeah, we will. We're going to be talking
I
about the cure for
don't smoke
cancer.
I don't
Yeah.
tolerate.
Yeah.
A lot of people get attracted today that whatever it takes to make it work,
Sure.
we can throw that in the middle also.
Right, and that's where we'll incorporate our sketch, where we'll kind of have fun with the ideas, because a lot of people see it and they just kind of brush it off. Oh, marijuana, haha, potheads or something, right? But you know, I guess we're probably all familiar with Rick Simpson and what he's been doing in Canada.
everybody's
And so we'll present that in kind of, you know, everyone knows somebody with cancer, and or that's been affected by it, and just kind of like, well, why isn't the mainstream talking about it? I mean, this has got the cure right here, and you know, I mean, it's like, I don't know what to do. I mean, there's got chemo, radiation, surgery, you know, we've been doing that for 50 years. I don't know, it's just not going to cut it. And then you know, the Gerson therapy and all these different other kind of routes, you know, Linus Pauling with vitamin C. I mean, it's another thing we could talk about with the water system. It's like, you know, they want to medicate us and help prevent tooth decay and all that. Well, why aren't they just putting ascorbic acid in there, vitamin C,
Right, I mean-
so we don't get the flu, right?
Right.
Thanks. Save money on the vaccinations, right? We're here to
Right.
save money, aren't we, city? So, you know, basically just putting it out there.
We're going to try to get both sides of the story, but hook the people in to make it an interesting topic. Is if you're discussing it with your a friend or a skid or something like that, and then we just take in from there.
Yeah, because a lot of us were
Yeah.
talking,
Yeah.
but then you don't have the expert come in, and that's basically what it is. We're setting up that kind of like that dialogue. You're talking to your friend, he's just not getting it. You know, that pressure. We all come, you know, we all encounter that. So,
There is an excellent video on vaccine, it's called Vaccine Deception.
right? I've seen that.
You heard
We've
that?
seen
Oh,
it,
yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, I
We're
prevented
researchers
my cat
ourselves, so-
to give vaccine to my cat. I told her you can call the FDA and tell them I refuse that.
He
You
loves
have no
his
right
cat.
to do that.
Oh, yeah.
All for cleaning the tooth.
Yeah,
Say no
right.
vaccine.
Sure.
Finally, she went along.
Oh, sure. Well, and then also with that issue, vaccines, a lot of people don't know that you can get exemptions. And people think, you know, how's my kid going to school? If I can, so present that information, the alternatives are going to be there, and then we'll come away with something kind of positive, like, you know, say with the water or something like that. Well, if we can't do it, then maybe we can all pray around the water and get some good intention on there, change the molecular structure of it. I mean, we all heard about that, right? So, and then, you know, with Emoto, the Japanese scientist who did that worked with the water.
That
And
is
so,
interesting.
so it does it, you know, just takes a little lighter note on it, you know, and so we don't come away powerless or just as confused as we began.
We would like to even have a poll at the end where people, we can, you know, how people feel about a certain topic would be. We try, I said, he's a little bit, and as our show goes, I'm going to try to be the fact driven and try to, you know, say, well, what's the deal with this? Does anybody even care, you know? But we'll see who cares at the end, and we'll present both sides of the story and try to have experts in. So we're just going to leave it kind of up to the viewer, but at the same time, we're not going to leave any, try to make it very fact, very concise, very driven, and try to make it to where people can get involved. You know, and I think that's it.
Are you hoping it's going to be weekly, or?
We're hoping weekly.
We're looking to shoot either next weekend, depending on the guest and the schedule. We're ready to go right away. And
What channel is it, yeah?
right now we're shooting the pilot, and then we're gonna shoot it around. But we'll be knocking them out anyway, we'll wait till we get picked up, or we're not really concerned about that. We just want to get the shows out there.
Right now.
Put them on YouTube, you know, post them around, wherever, just to have it out there, just to have that kind of different view of looking at these various topics.
We're just going to start shopping it around, and I think that if we do it, you know, in a concise way, and very fact-driven and very oriented, and have fun with it, I think that we have a fairly good audience, and you know, just keep it very tight, keep it, you know, to an intelligent level with a debate, and I think we'll be okay.
Very
So,
good.
yeah.
Well, let me tell you, there's Pride Dental in Arlington, and they are anti-fluoride.
Okay.
And they're
My dentist
kind of
is as well.
one of us,
Yeah.
And so they're willing to talk. They're going to come to our meeting too. And the couple that goes to them was going to bring us some brochures tonight. But people run late lots of times because they actually hand out anti-fluoride propaganda pamphlets. There you go. And there's just like there's the ADA, there's an anti-fluoride administration of some sort, and he could never remember the name, but it's on the brochure. So when we get those brochures, well, those dentists would probably be good authorities for you to talk to.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. And yeah, if anyone knows anything, if you could shoot it to Regina until we have that, you know, something for you to come to, that'd be great, just so we have the options. Yes.
How long does each segment?
Well, that's the tricky part, because see, all of us, we can sit there and listen to a lecture or a documentary for 2-3 hours, no problem. We love this stuff, we want to become informed. But most people aren't. So we've got really about 22 minutes. We've got a 30-minute show to get it just boom, 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 just planting the seeds. Just planting the seeds. You have a chaotic kind of, you're frightened. When we get someone in here, your buddy doesn't believe it, and we got this back and forth kind of dialogue going, and then, what do you think? And then because that can't be right? That kind of thing. So, because it's just absurd, and this is just kind of diagnosing the chaos we're all living in, because it's just insane what we're having to deal with. So.
We're in a meeting right now talking about something that most likely you would think somebody would have taken care of a long time ago. And said, fluoride in water, really? Why? It's a chemical additive. We don't need it. But we're in a room right now discussing this. So, and as sad as it states, we're going to have to put a show on television to do our forum to get other people to think the way that we do, and we're just people, we're not scientists, but we have to do something,
Right.
So.
Albert had a question.
No, I just, the Moriarty's wanted me to tell you they'd be late.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you
thanks
guys
for
for
you
your
guys.
time. Thank you.
This is awesome. This is very awesome that it's working. They knew to come here. This is good. I was going to say something else. I've been very excited talking. There are a lot of dentists that are, like 3,000 of them, or a lot, that are actually speaking out. There's this one dentist, her name is Dr. Brand, and she's very willing to Skype in. She's in New York, and she's willing to help us in any way. Activist dentists. So that's what they're going to try to get. We got to look at what I like almost talking to people that, like the straight guy side, what do they think? We know what we think, and Albert's right. I went to Whole Foods the other day handing out my flyers. Everybody said, yeah, that fluoride's bad. A lot of people know it, but there's not a lot of us. We need the activism. The people
Which
who...
Whole Foods did you go to?
The one on Park Lane. I know a lot of the people there. And so some of them said they'll come, but again, it's getting up at 8 in the morning. Are they working? There's a lot of different reasons why people don't make it. But we need to be the initiator to invite them, It's what it's about, because you're right, guys. Most people, or a lot of people right now, are not gung-ho about fluoride. The 5 years ago, even up to 5 years ago, most people would say, well, it's for tooth decay, isn't it? Well, we need to help the poor people because they don't have access, but 3 or 4 of the major cities, let's see, Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, the 3 I can remember. 30 years they've been fluoridating, but tooth decay is still horrible in the poverty areas. So it's not that, it's poverty. It's the people who don't have toothbrushes and brush, just movement, Excuse me, honey?
Go to the dentist.
Go to the dentist, that's true. So these millions of dollars and health problems that people are having, it could be put into when they give them the breakfast at school or something, give them a toothbrush and time to brush their teeth or something, How hard would that be, really? I mean, it's, if they really were concerned about that. So cheaper too, you're right. Safer. I mean, because all these years, one of the things they like to say, just so you have the other side, and I like to know more of what they have on the other side, it's the fact of, well, we'd see what the problems were, but the problem is they're masked. A lot of the symptoms can mimic arthritis and other ailments that people have, but you don't know what the cause was. Hypothyroidism, low thyroid, yeah, she's an advocate, what would we call you? Anyway, she's someone who experiences this. And then, victim, there you go, 30, 40s.
And also person with 2 biology degrees.
Yeah, she has 2 biology degrees, and her health is horrible, and she knows. That's why I said she could be our poster child, right? She'll be your poster child, because she is in a lot of bad shape, and she, anyways, so because 30, 40s, and 50s, they gave fluoride tablets to lower thyroid. So now, surprisingly, in our country, thyroid medicine is the second from the top. It's given out. So, there's got to be a link there. But see, the pro-fluoride side doesn't want to look at that to say that it's conclusive. They're just saying, well, we don't see anything. But that's rambling. That's off topic in a way. Not really, but you know what I mean. I'm rambling now. Okay, what else? Does anybody else have some idea of what's coming up or what we have, guys, that we want to try to be there for? We got 6 minutes. The Moriartys are late, and I don't see Roy Williams. So, but he's coming. You think? He said
Most
he's coming.
countries in the world.
It's probably a lot of traffic. Go ahead.
Most countries in the world, they stop using fluoride in the water.
Yeah, America. The statistics are all there. I mean, we are using fluoride, and so many other places are not, and it's just all out there. But again, yes, sir, William.
How do you plan to get around the city spam filter?
The city.
The city of Dallas has an email for all departments, one place, one source, that can put you in a spam folder and you get lost forever.
Well, I got acknowledgments from the secretaries. I sent it, and then I got responses back. Thank you for this email. And what I'm trying to do, only because experience, I'm a cook. I'm a cook, a private cook. If you want to get anything done, or I've been a church secretary too. Those are the people you talk to usually if you want to do something. So the secretaries, talk to the secretaries, get to know the secretaries, tell them things are coming. My personal guy, he'll always say, I passed it on to him, Regina. I know, so they know. Plus, I like I use the same email, so she can even track back when it was I sent things or talked to her or said, I called him today, he still hasn't responded. So that's my little tip there. I don't know. I don't think they're spamming me right now.
No, they don't spam you, but what it is, I tied into the, back when the dog catchers were having cats going behind the walls and whatnot.
Okay.
They complained that locked me out of all City of Dallas' emails.
Huh. Oh, that's
Anybody got the point yet?
yeah. Unfortunately.
You have to keep changing emails.
Okay, change emails. There you go. All right. I was saying to John, who was doing a lot of phone calling to the council people, I said, let's lay low until Wednesday. That was just Friday, but he was calling them a lot. And trying to find out how do they feel about things. Let's get through Wednesday, and then on Thursday, start saying, hey, what do you think about that? What's your response? What do you have to say? How do you feel? So let's try to hit them on Thursday with emails. Just something. Ask them. Call back. Let us know what you think. We want to find out, okay, one more thing. I got something else to say here. You can get it to be an agenda item if you can convince 5 council people, not that they're for it, but they're for discussing it. And then you have more time before the council, and it doesn't have to fit into that one time, in 4 weeks thing. So that'll give us a few weeks. If they're gonna be going on recess, I think we should push hard between the 6th and whatever that is, 6 and 7, everybody, it's 13, whatever, when they're gonna be going on break. Then let them think about it when they come back, be ready to hit them again. So, okay, what else can we talk about? Anybody got something for me? Who's gonna be coming on, I want commitments. You're coming, yes?
Yes, I'm
And
coming.
are you bringing anybody? Aaron, will you help write this down? Like a little hatch
No,
barn?
I'm just
Okay.
coming. I
Okay.
had all the cards out, so I don't know who is gonna actually.
But you did
But
mention
some-
it.
Yeah,
Some
I handed it out at a couple
Don't
meetings.
know yet.
Do you think Linda Cook is gonna come?
She knows about it.
Yeah.
It depends on whether she tends to be a really hardcore night owl too, so that might be it.
Yes, cancel
But
that.
I've been damaged by this, so I'm pretty behind.
You're passionate about it. And excuse me,
I have to come pick you up and come pick you up.
Albert's coming, Brian's coming, and maybe another person. You're gonna try to get a couple people, yes? You're bringing Brian, right?
I'm bringing Brian
Okay,
and I'm bringing the other lady.
okay, whatever. And Albert, maybe? You're a maybe?
Maybe,
Maybe.
I have another pending thing.
Okay, Jack, you're coming. Okay, I know I've got 2 kids of mine that are coming.
Are you coming or not?
William, you think you'll make
I'll do
it?
the best I can. I've been to all the others.
Wednesday.
I did the best I could and I made it.
Mike, okay. I know Joanne's coming and you're gonna bring your vocal
Now, I'm not
cords.
gonna answer
Are you
that
bringing
question
anybody?
that way because I came
Not
from.
that I know of.
Okay. Bruce, you up for it? Wednesday at 8? Working?
I'm working.
Working. Do you think Joe or anybody from that group that doesn't have a morning job might come? Hank? Talk to Hank.
Joe's teaching.
Oh, he's teaching. Okay, Hank and Mara might come. Okay.
What about,
Stuart's coming.
Stuart.
Stuart's coming. I don't know if he can bring anybody. I told him to try to bring somebody. And Zach said he might come.
Yep.
Okay, good.
But I got that busted, so it's.
Okay, good. Zach had started what is it called? No Fluoride Dallas?
Fluoride-free Dallas.
Fluoride-free Dallas. This is another Facebook, and is that, what's the new name?
That is a new name.
That's a new name?
Yes.
Fluoride-free Dallas, okay? So you'll be posting different things there too, so like his Facebook. A lot of the people in our group don't do Facebook. I keep trying to them to encourage them, just do it under a fake name or something, because it's, you get much, yeah, really, an AKA of some kind. But do you have many people that you can contact through that? I saw you have like 96 people. What was your amount on there? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's around 100 or something like that, yeah. I mean, what's interesting is you can post that, you go to the grocery store and get some orange juice and you got 16 likes. And you post something about fluoride or something and no one's hitting it,
Yeah.
so.
Or they'll hit it until you say, are you gonna come and do it? Or something,
Well, see, that's why I changed it from Fluoride Action Dallas. I was thinking, well, maybe that's making people feel like they've got to be involved in something instead of, so I wanted to, really focus the site on just being informative.
Right.
Not asking for you to do anything, just check it out, read the article, see the video.
Good. Okay. Well, if you can get enough people. We went on February 5th. Yeah, February 5th. No, it was 2nd. Whatever day we went. Anyways. And we had 21 people come to the city council, and there was 2 of us talking that morning. That was a nice crowd. When you have signs, we can look presentable if we have 25, 30, 35. I wanted 100, and I thought that should be done, a doable thing. I still think anything's possible. I mean, these, tell our gun-toting people they can bring the guns.
You can,
Because we have open carry, we get 100 people. What?
if you can call Alex Jones and tell him that you want a favor from me,
Uh-huh.
just to mention he's gonna be there and don't show up.
If
That's
we
it.
just could get on Alex Jones to say we're doing this, we'd get a couple of people. I am gonna try really hard to get on, I'm pretty positive I'll be on Joyce tomorrow mentioning it. She has 80,000 listeners. I don't know how many are in Dallas. I don't know how many are not
100,000?
working. How many? We might get one or two. You know. Go ahead.
100,000 listeners?
No, she has 80,000. 80,000 listeners.
I contribute a great deal to that. I used to promote George Gordon and the GCM Live. A lot of people know. Now every day I will pass, I wrote down all this station. I used to pass it down every day, at
That's
least
good.
3 to 5 people. I stopped doing that. Because now I see that there's a lot of people know about the subject already.
Still can't hurt, especially about something specific like an event. Erin, do you think you could email Ella Dask?
Yeah, I will for sure.
Okay, Ella Dask might mention it, he has, 1480 AM radio, Monday through Friday, 3 PM. So, do you think, Bruce, do you think maybe you could talk to the people at 9/11 to see if they could do a thing? And then, whoever that person is, ask if Debbie McKee would post it on Liberty, whatever.
Maybe Q.
Q already is gonna do it. There's a guy named Q and he has Rally Force, and he is gonna put it on already. He gets people out for protests. He's a great guy. Y'all need to meet him. If you ever wanna do anything on, he lived under Castro, and it's called Rally Force.
He wrote a book.
He wrote a book about living in Cuba. He escaped here when he was young, and he's talking about, let's see, when the Castro came in, he was a lawyer. He was a neighborhood, what's it called, a community organizer. He wasn't for communism. No. He was not going to take their guns away. In 3 years, all those things happened on the streets. There were people there that would report on you. And it was really interesting. One of our presentations, the BBC was here the night that he talked from London. They came to one of our meetings, and that was the night he was speaking. And we had 3 other women here from Cuba that didn't even know he was going to be speaking about Cuba. One was a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter. They had escaped here also, and the daughter is a doctor now, and they're very big activists. And the grandmother was crying because she was like, I remember these things. Because what he was saying was they would knock on the door in the night, and you didn't know if it was somebody that really needed help or whether they wanted you to open the door to see if you were going to help somebody, and then they'd catch you as you were a rebel, right? So he was talking about don't give up your guns, and that's what these women were saying too. We know what had happened, and we're telling you. And he was real interesting because he said the Hungarians had come into their country saying, look what's happening, open your eyes, And this came on, the reason the BBC came, one of the reasons, they heard about Activists for Truth. And one of the things was when Obama was in Dallas, people were protesting. And my sign said, arrest Obama, Activists for Truth, So they wanted to come. It was during the week of JFK. And so, anyway. It was interesting, and so we have the BBC did a thing on us. So, what else now?
Falling against the mayor for violating the First Amendment right of mine, and also violating the oath of office. And I mentioned something about the 9/11 to the city manager. I said, where do you draw your authority above the federal law? What are you? That you don't let people protest or just carry signs on 9/11. Kennedy, the Kennedy deal. Where do you draw your authority? You say, I don't know, they made a decision. But you can talk to them, you can let them know that we're aware of everything.
That's
what they're
true.
doing.
That's what
They don't have the authority to do that. As the other sheriff was here talking about everything is pretended legislation and rule and regulation.
That's true.
Exactly what it is. They may say don't do it, but they don't have the authority to tell us not to do it.
I know what you mean.
And if we do, there's nothing they can do about it.
Because there
It
is,
just needs to be challenged.
Don't Comply is another group that we're affiliated with, and that's Murdoch. And the whole concept is, like in the city of Dallas, there's hungry people, and then there's people that want to feed them. But in the city of Dallas, you have to have porta potties, and you've got to buy it from a store. It's got to be packaged. Well, Don't Comply didn't comply. They went on a corner, they had some pickup trucks, they had chili, and they fed 300-400 people. The police came by, and they had their guns, because Don't Comply, the leader, is also the open carry, what is it called?
Come and take it.
Come and Take It, yeah. And he's the leader of both. So they had their guns on, the police came and said, what you doing? We're feeding the people. Oh, okay, carry on. And so it works. So the deal of it is if something is unconstitutional, it's wrong, you know, you gotta stand up for it. Be ready for fallout sometimes, but you gotta start saying, we don't buy this, you know, we're gonna stand up, we're gonna do something about it, you know? So,
Things
yeah.
are getting very hot in Connecticut right now.
Tell us, Erin.
Well, they're talking about making felons out of everybody who hasn't registered their firearms.
And that's gonna be tomorrow? When is it? It's soon.
It was January 1st, that was the deadline, but there's a lot of people standing up and saying we don't comply. So there's people, you know, calling the sheriff locally there in Connecticut and saying, are you gonna come and break down my door? And he's basically saying, yeah.
So he's not a good sheriff
No.
in Connecticut. Well, not much is put up there.
Always stay, some people don't ask any question.
Just
By law, you have a right to shoot even a police officer. I looked it up, but you have to be an American citizen. I'm not, but I will do it anyway.
Well, Oath Keepers, my sister's the vice president of Oath Keepers for the state of Texas, okay? And she also was the director with Sheriff Mack when he was starting his group, CSPOA. I hate acronyms. People get to know me. I screw up these kind of details, but everyone helps me, and they understand it's the
Constitutional Sheriffs Association, Police
Police
Association,
officer.
yeah.
I told them at the time, that's too complicated, but everyone knows what it is anyways. And so I got these cards, that's what Oath Keepers passes out, and it has to do with standing up for your oath of office, and it's reminding people that the sheriff is the last line of defense, and if they're very powerful in your county, and that if something, an unlawful federal order comes down, the sheriff can decide not to follow through with that. So it's really important. Right now in Dallas, we don't have a constitutionally strong sheriff, but Kurt Lanius ran before. He did very, very good. And he'll be running again probably next year. I think
He
it's
gave a great presentation, it's on our website.
Yeah, we
Is that
have-
the gentleman that was here?
Kurt Lanius, yes.
Oh, well, we need to know when the election is, we will vote for him.
Yes.
When is it, next month?
No, like a whole season. He's not even starting campaigning until after, you know. But, you know, keep him in mind and everything, you know. He has a presentation. So if you go to our website, you look at the presentations, Aladask was here. They're raw lots of times. You have to fast forward my part, but you know, you get to the topic person. So we have some of these if anyone wants them. The traffic was horrible, and it really is true. Coming down Mockingbird, it can take you 5 minutes or 40 minutes, the same street. Not too bad that way?
That's from coming from downtown.
From downtown. I don't know where he's coming from.
Usually it's bad.
Yeah, pretty bad. So, okay, well, there's been a lot of news going on, and the Ukraine is a topic that Bruce is going to give us some information about the Ukraine. Okay, guys?
You can get it online, I ordered it online.
Okay, guys, here we go again. We're still in the meeting. Bruce is going to step up at the front.
Am I? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And you know what, the 9/11, can you look up Facebook and look at our events? Because Joe is going to come speak about 9/11. Is that the 17th? Maybe you check it. But he
Yeah,
he said he
I'll
was
ask him. I could ask him
yeah.
Thursday.
Check it out. Our Facebook.
17th or the 44th, I don't know which.
I thought
Okay.
it was the 24th.
Oh, maybe it's 24. I don't have my David here. This is Bruce, good friend, and he was.
You know, I don't know.
mentioning-
I don't know a lot. I know the past history of Ukraine. I know the history of Russia. I know the history of the world. And but what's the most outrageous thing that's happening now is John Kerry saying that, about Russia coming into the Ukraine. This, and then I lost the word again. I always lose this word. You know, how we have invaded Iraq.
Preemptive?
No. The sovereignty, I'm sorry. Sovereignty of nations, which we have ignored since World War II over and over and over and over again. Yet when another country does it, which of course, as anybody knows, Ukraine was part of Russia until the 50s when Nikita Khrushchev ceded that, gave it sort of an independent thing, just kind of, it was kind of a puppet thing. But, let's go back to 1945 when President Roosevelt gave over all those Eastern European countries to Stalin in a secret deal at Yalta. If anybody doesn't know about that, I mean, the history of our country, how outrageous it is unbelievable. We create our own enemies to fund this military-industrial complex that's just getting stronger and stronger and stronger, taking away our rights. And yet we have the gall to say that Russia is intruding on somebody's sovereignty. When we have done it over and over again, Vietnam, I mean, you can just go on and on. In fact, we did it earlier. We invaded South American countries, the Philippines in the 1898 Spanish-American War. I mean, the Filipinos didn't want us there. There were hundreds of thousands of people slaughtered in that war. And I mean, it's just, I think we just need to really wake up. And now, they're beating the drums again. It's all about this military thing. Just keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. There's no peaceful solutions ever anymore. We ignored that whole thing. I just watched a documentary where they just assembled a bunch of news clips, like CNN, CBS, and NBC and all that, and from like Vietnam up until the present time, and how it's like they got a rule, but they got a playbook where they stir it up, get it going, get it going, and then they gleefully describe how the bunker buster bombs are killing all these people, and all, and in Iraq, 90% of the casualties were civilians.
Yeah.
In World War I, 10%. World War II, 50%. It just keeps going up and up. It's all the civilians are suffering. Civilians who don't care one bit about any of this politics. And we go into these countries saying we're going to save them, give them democracy and freedom. If you're dead, you don't have anything. So take away everything. And that's what's going on. And in the Ukraine, the whole thing started when the premier decided not to go with the EU. Now, when we had glasnost with Gorbachev, one of the deals was for them, when they gave freedom to all those countries, was that they would not join the NATO or the EU. We went against that agreement. We broke our agreement. We're trying to get all these former Warsaw Pact countries into the EU so they can get dominated by the World Bank and the IMF and all this crap. And it's just insidious. It's insidious. And they're stirred up all these guys in Kiev, and that causes huge confrontation where a lot of people died. Stirred up the Russians, stirred up everybody else. And now we want to do sanctions and everything. I mean, it's just this pattern that just goes over and over and over again. It's sickening, and it's our government that's doing it. And somehow, there's going to be a price to pay for this eventually. This just can't keep going on. You can't just keep expending these huge amounts on militarism when we can't fix our streets, our infrastructure, our dams, or anything. That's just all going to hell. And but we got plenty of money to build for bombs and military. And then on the radio, you hear NPR the other day, oh, they're cutting the military budget. It's horrible. We'll be defenseless. We are so over-prepared on defense. We have enough to destroy the world 1,000,000 times over, and they're saying we're cutting back. Oh, it's going to destroy our defense system. It's unbelievable. Anyway, that's all I got to say.
So expect blowback.
Oh yeah.
Well, to add a little to that, the disturbance in the Ukraine was initiated by the United States and
That's right.
NATO and the European Union.
Yeah, to get them to join the EU
It's the Rothschild banking systems behind it all.
against Russia, which Russia
That's
was
right.
their natural.
And the Ukrainian people don't want any more of the Rothschild bank.
Yeah.
I was watching a program one time where a lady who ran for presidency of Ukraine and lost to another guy was talking about what he did. He got together with the Rothschild banking system, and they put in an equivalent of like the Federal Reserve, and they put in an equivalent of like Wall Street, And within a couple of years, those people in those two industries became millionaires. And everybody else in the country, their wages went down about 40%. It's an evil, evil movement. And our government is right at the head of it. And I agree with you on everything you said. I'm embarrassed to be known as an American today. For what, I mean,
And most
related to our
people
government.
in this
what
country
it's-
don't even know what the hell's going on.
Oh, no. And
They wouldn't know by listening on the television or listening to the news broadcast, because it's all totally slanted. There's no diversity
You shouldn't listen
of
to American
opinion.
news.
There's no somebody telling the other side the true story about what's really going on.
That is totally suppressed.
It's just all,
It's the fluoride.
and then they call it the liberal media. It's all controlled by the government. It's all
Right.
totally.
Thank you for saying that.
You get more accurate news through
Yeah,
things like Pravda
exactly.
and other Russian news agencies.
Yeah.
Even some of the European ones are
Oh, yeah.
much better than us. I lived in Germany in 64, 65 for a year, and I couldn't understand how these people were so down on us for being in Vietnam. I'm thinking, today I see it 180 degrees the opposite. We wore the bad hat, the black hats over there. We're the bad guys.
Yeah, the Vietnam thing is it's so easy to explain. The OSS worked with the Vietnamese, with Ho Chi Minh in World War II to fight the Japanese, with the promise that after the war they would gain independence. They totally went against it again, like they always did. The French, oh, we want our colony back. It's like, okay, and it was like, all these guys wanted was their freedom. So who they turned to? They turned to the communists.
That's all they had.
That's all they had. Because the U.S. isn't going to help them. They betrayed them. And then we go, oh, there's all these horrible communists in Vietnam now. That was really funny because Dien Bien Phu kind of told everybody that, hey, you're not going to defeat these guys in '54. And yet we go in, we replace the French, take over, expend billions of dollars, kill hundreds of thousands of people, including a lot of Americans. And nothing happened. Nothing was the result. It was all ridiculous. But the other thing that always the thing is once we're in there, we got to stay the course. It's always stay the course. That's what Obama said. I'm going to get out of Afghanistan. Okay. No, we got to finish the job. We got to what job? I'll kill some more people. Waste some more money.
Let's keep building new helicopters.
Yeah, exactly. Because as soon as we leave Afghanistan, it's going to go right back the way it was. Anybody that knows history knows about Afghanistan. There's so many different European nations, in Russia, everybody's trying to go in there and do something with Afghanistan. They've all lost. It's unbelievable. And these guys in the State Department know exactly. They know that. They know their history. But it's all about spending that money, the military budget.
Yeah. Opium
It's
is
all
big.
about it. And drugs.
If the Taliban gets back in, they'll wipe out the opium trade again like they did before.
It's 10 times
We
bigger than it was.
reinstall.
Yeah. Same in Vietnam. The
They
heroin.
have those coughing jabs. Everybody says they have them. Tears go down, So, hot lemon and honey. Okay, go ahead.
Would you say that maybe it's the compulsory schooling that set us up for this? I mean, you think about when that started out, there in
Well,
latter part of the turn of the
we
century.
had the, I grew up in the '50s, and we had the duck and cover drills and the what you need to know about communism booklets and the propaganda things.
Right, we in the state schooling, we had the brainwashing.
Oh, yeah, brainwashed. With nobody even said about that stuff, really, y'all. And they're going to tell the true history of all of a sudden, Russia was our friend until the end of the World War. We needed a new enemy, so there's the Cold War. Come on, let's get it. We got to replace these guys.
I'm trying to reference it better, but it was called the Second American Revolution. It's one that no one talks about. It's basically when Great Britain brought over their classism after the Civil War, and then we had the
Great Britain was funding both sides. They wanted us to just be split apart. They wanted the Americans to be destroyed. They still consider us.
It's also interesting is that during our Civil War, Russia put her navy in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and told Britain and France, hands off or you're at war with Russia. The Tsar knew what we were trying to do.
so how do we end the cycle? I mean, what's the,
That's a good question.
You know, I think-
I mean, the
it
Bolsheviks
seems
were
like it's
created by the
education.
Russian secret police because they needed somebody to have somebody to fight. You know, I mean, you can just look at all these countries. We create, every country, it's not just the U.S., they create their own enemies, the people that, these kind of systems. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's perpetuated all over the world. And what's behind that, usually you can find a bank. You know, you can find some kind of banking system behind any of this. They funded the Bolsheviks. They funded, you know, all these revolutions that turned out to not be a revolution because it was just kind of the same old stuff.
Our history is like us discussing, at least we know some part of it. I mean, as bankers or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, all the presidents, the early presidents opposed this. Don't have this privately owned banking system. Don't do it. Don't.
Yeah, wasn't that the battle with Andrew Jackson the whole time?
Yeah,
I mean,
they sent an assassin. Because he was against.
Does anybody have the 9/11 original film?
9/11 original film?
Not like
In
it.
plain sight, or?
The one that it was 2 hours.
There's a lot of.
There's so many, which one?
Really?
There's so many.
The
If you want
nine,
any, I could bring them next week.
Bruce
No, I
has been
have
involved.
the ripple effect. 9/11 ripple effect. It's a good one, but it's
Oh.
not as good as the original.
Yeah, we just.
Bruce is with a group that meets every Thursday. They've handed out almost 60,000 DVDs. Yeah, for free. They just make them, print them in hundreds and 200s, and then hand them out at all these events. They've really been trying to open
That's
the eyes.
just another one of the false, what we call false flag operations to get people into war. That's gone way back in history. You know, sinking the Maine, Lusitania, Gulf of Tonkin, just goes on and on.
But this was, the
Pearl Harbor
was more about the war
Pearl
on
Harbor.
us. Wasn't it? I mean, it was more about the war on us than anything. I mean, they can go and start something off anywhere and they'll go with it, but, I mean, wasn't happening.
Well, like the Project for New American Century, you know, which is all these guys, Wolfowitz, Cheney, Pearl, all these guys. They said, you know, 3 years before 9/11, we want to do this, we want to invade Iraq, we want to take over the Middle East, we want to do all this kind of stuff. But we have to convince the American people that it's necessary. The only way, and that's going to take a long time unless we have a Pearl Harbor event. It says it right there on the deal. You know, so.
Sure, they're good, they're handmade. They're a good chocolate, aren't they, guys? Yeah, there's more. There's more.
You
But-
enjoyed it all?
Oh, don't do that.
One is just a teaser, you know? You gotta have these. Once you realize these are good, you gotta have the next one.
Those are my Christians.
Oh, can't get into it?
What was your name?
There's my name there.
I haven't.
Stage name, pen name, whatever. Did you see the crazy name of the book?
That's all right.
But anyway, so I didn't know if, you know,
We
if
can
you're
just say
saying if you wanted any more.
Oh, yeah, if anything's used for a sketch or something to a guest or just depending on what the song is.
Okay, well, here's my phone number.
Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate it.
I enjoyed you guys, though. I have 4 sons, probably your age.
Oh.
I wish I had your singing on
I would
the
think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
will you sing with us?
This
Let her know.
afternoon. And the snack.
With her.
Okay, come on. We'll sing it one time on,
Well,
we'll sing it one time on tape. Why not?
Joanne.
6:30.
I think these things are good. What do you think? Maybe. Will you sing it with us too?
5:33.
They have some interesting news.
Come on, sweetheart. You too, okay? I know. She does it all by herself. She's gotta have that.
Which are you guys available during the day, or you guys get day jobs?
Oh, no, this is what we do.
They burned part of the building.
Unfortunately.
It was a hotel. Turkey.
Oh, let's go on the side. Go to Texas kind of thing.
Well, we're rather good as.
Let me show up at Albert. New here. At Quan's
They want you to say this again for the camera. Come on.
I hope you don't take this as my good little choir practice.
Little choir practice. Left.
I'll try to
Aaron, come on, you sing. Don't you?
I'll
Come
try to
on.
breathe better now where I'll have
Oh.
more of a projecting voice here.
We'll just be slight back.
1, 2, 3, ready, sing.
Oh, I'm waiting to be honest.
We do not approve. As for fluoride, it should be removed just like pollution standing in the water. It shall be removed.
Do it again, I screwed it up
Let's
twice.
move it up just a
Let's
little.
get it up.
That was too low.
That was too low. We do not.
Hang on.
We do not.
We want us to start over?
Yeah, I want to get it right from the top. 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Horrible, but at least some.
We do not approve. As for fluoride, it should be removed just like pollution standing in the water. It shall be removed.
There you go.
Probably
So,
still low for you.
Yeah.
Our voice types are so different.
yeah, I don't even know what mine is.
Why don't you come
Here's
out and
probably
sing it
college
in the
girl.
council?
We're gonna sing it outside, but
No,
really,
you can sing it in the city council, make 15 seconds before you finish your speech. Let's give you all you can all sing it. You're gonna make a great sense.
how long do you think that was?
Or you can ask for another
28 seconds?
Huh?
28 seconds, huh?
28
I
seconds?
don't know. I don't know
You
how
can,
that.
you can ask for a minute. Sometimes they'll give it to you.
I think maybe just get the point.
Let's just go and we'll have it outside. We'll just keep replaying it. Okay, guys, this is an unusual meeting because the Moriartys could take up an hour. I don't know where they were or why they're late, so.
Okay, let's call it off. If they're
Yeah.
not here, we'll catch up with them next time.
Yeah, we can call the meeting done, William, if you want, and then you know that we're done. Does that sound good, maybe? Unless you want to keep it rolling and then cut it
Let me see
off?
if I can get them.
8:31. Oh, you know, they may have been trying to call me, I don't know.
10 minutes with them would be wonderful.
Yeah, I know.
We've got 30 minutes.
I haven't had any text messages come in.
Did anything come from,
And see, that young lady talked to him today. They said he was coming. No, I had no missed calls. No missed calls and no
Are you
messages.
coming to the meeting? Oh.
This couple that's coming, I started to tell you.
Present, I guess.
Yeah, to catch us up. I was telling you, they were
All right.
in Libya before Gaddafi,
Okay.
you know, and then after. And then they came here, that's where I left off. Well, they had been trying to connect
All right.
with officials ever since then. And they've been put on not a kill list, but a soft
All
kill
right.
list. And Pete Sessions is stopping the Benghazi investigation. Pete Sessions is the chairman of the Rules Committee.
They didn't know that.
He also is an appropriations guy, like he knows who gets the money, so he's high in the Republican Party. He's probably number 4, okay? Very powerful, and he's paid his dues, and he's blocking the Benghazi investigation. Well, they have connections with the tribal leaders over there, and they have been on Joyce's shows with the tribal leaders, because it's tribal, those countries over there are all tribal, really. And so they didn't want us to come in, they didn't need us to come in, they were not upset with Gaddafi. Gaddafi was trying to, turn the country, the gold standard and all. And he was disseminating water, and the people were happy. They'll tell the story over and over again, it was a safe place to be. It is horrible, horrible now. They always get pictures and information about what was going on, terrible massacres of people, and people being kidnapped and everything else. Well, right now, though, the last 3 months or so, they're taking their country back, and you don't hear about it. CNN, and they don't want to report this, that this could happen, that the people could actually take their country back. And they've been reporting on that. They've had a lot of people from there on Power Hour. So they were going to give us a report on what's going on. And like I say, they've been in the Dallas area now for several months, but they're going to be moving about 4 hours or so away.
What'd they say, Albert?
They say they don't know when they're gonna come, let's call it off.
They did not know that they were expected to present tonight. And they were in another meeting, but they said they would be here as soon as they could.
Oh, I know.
Oh, great.
I never heard they were in
Just
a...
call them,
That's
tell
okay.
them what's the rush. Talk me now.
It's okay. Anyways,
Check out with them
start
next
talking
time.
again.
You know, go to Whole Foods, you know, I'm not a doctor.
Oh, I know, yeah. That's true.
But get you an oregano oil. You heard about it?
Yes, yes.
E73, and get you the colloidal silver.
I got it.
Colloidal silver, and then garlic tablets.
I do those every day too.
That's good.
Well, I got
But you add the oregano and you'll be fine.
There you go. Now I got my,
Yeah.
anyway, so we're gonna call it over?
Yeah, they don't know when they.
Why don't we do
Oh,
that? Then you'll know you're done.
Is there anybody who say watch this video?
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please leave comments below. Better yet, like us, follow us, or subscribe to us and get notices of all our videos. We love it even when you call. When visiting LeMann's restaurant on Mockingbird, tell them you want your reservation to the next activist meeting. Space is limited, so make your reservations early. Call 214-696-0800.